Hi everyone! Now I'm here today with my April TBR. The first thing that I'm planning to read in April is the book that I'm currently reading, and that is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling. I'm reading it in Russian this time and I'm nearly finished it, so really excited to finish it. The next book is another book in Russian, and that is the fifth book from the series that I've been reading about the Magical Academy by Milena Zavoichinskaya. This is, I'm not sure if it's the last book in the series or just the last book that is out at the moment. I'm excited to continue reading the series. I miss when I don't read it, so yeah, the cover is gorgeous. The next book that I'm planning to read is Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. Belle goes to Beast's library and finds an interesting book there, which transfers her into a new world and things like that, but things don't seem as they seem to be, and she doesn't know if she can come back now. The next book is Playing with Fire by Tess Gerritsen. I bought it a couple of months ago and now I think it's about time for me to start reading it. It's I'm not sure because I haven't read the back of the book because it was my blind date with the book and I didn't read the back. And I want to go into this book knowing nothing about it, but I assume it's like a thriller. The next three books, I borrowed them from the library. The first one is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I know that Little Book Owl really likes it, and many people love this book. But yeah, I've always wanted to pick it up and I've had it on my e-reader for quite a while, but I never managed to start reading it. And then in the library I saw this book and I decided to pick it up. So yeah, this book is about a circus, I would think, which goes only at night and some magical things start happening. That's all I know about this book, but I don't want to know more about it because I like sometimes going to the books without knowing anything about them. Another book is House of Bells by Chaz Brenchley. The cover of it is really like creepy and gothic, and I think it's horror. This book is about a girl who is, I think she's a journalist, who is trying to find out what's happening in a commune in the house, I don't know. And she's trying to find out also what happened to the journalist who was sent there before to investigate, and now he disappeared somehow. Something weird starts happening. So I'm not a huge fan of horror things. I do like reading them, but they really creep me out. So I'm always really anxious about reading horror literature or watching horror films or anything like it. So we'll see how it goes. But I do enjoy horror stories about houses. That interests me a lot. But like I said, I'm not sure if I will be able to read it in terms of that it could be really creepy for my taste. Another book is The House of Silk by Anthony Horowitz. This is like a Sherlock Holmes novel, but obviously not the original one because it's written by different authors. And I've always been a bit anxious about going into the books about Sherlock Holmes who are written by different authors, not Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But I saw this book in a shop and I wanted to get it, but I decided not to, and then I saw it in the library and I decided to give it a go because it sounds really interesting. This story is about a man who goes to Sherlock Holmes for help, and he's telling him and Dr. Watson that there's a scar-faced man who is following him everywhere, and then after that something starts happening to all of them. Now moving on to the books that I will be reading for an online book club. This time I am participating in 3 categories: modern literature, traveling to another country, and also classic literature. Also the author of the month. So for the classic literature this time we chose reading My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. I recently read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier and I really want to continue reading her works, so that's just perfect time for me to read another book by her. I don't know what this book is about, but I want to go into it without knowing anything about it, so that's perfect for me. Another book is for traveling to another country, and this month it's England we are traveling to. It's funny because I live in England now, and the book I will be reading for a Russian book club is about England. And this time we are reading Cakes and Ale, or The Skeleton in the Cupboard by Somerset Maugham. I don't know anything about this book again. I already started listening to it as an audiobook. It kind of seems to be about a writer. Some writer, I don't really know much about it. The next category is modern literature, and this time the theme was a book set in a castle or a house, and we chose a book which is called The Shifting Fog, or in another edition it is called The House at Riverton, and the author is Kate Morton. I think she's an Australian author. I can't remember. It's like, it seems to be almost like detective crime kind of story, something to do with war maybe as well. I can't really remember what it is about again, but apparently that's my theme for April, to go into books which I don't know much about. And the author of the month, this time it's Margaret Atwood. I've never read anything by her, but I could choose any of her works, and I decided to go with the book which won Booker Prize. It is called The Blind Assassin. So it's a crime novel, I think. That's all I know again about it. I've got quite a few crime and detective novels on the pile this month. We'll see how it goes. And other 3 books that I might read in April as well. The first one is The House of Secrets by Chris Columbus and Ned Vizzini. It sounds really interesting. It's more like a middle grade, I think, series, middle grade book about a boy or 2 boys discovering something about the house. That's all I know again. And also the house. That'll be like the 3rd book on my TBR about the house. About a house. How weird is that? The next book that I might be reading is Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Montgomery. I've heard many good things about this book, and I know that April from Aprilis Maximus really likes the series. At least she really liked the first book, so I want to know what the story is about, because I know nothing about it at the moment, except for that it's kind of a coming of age story. That's all I know about it. And another book that I want to read, hopefully I will read it. I've had it on my e-reader for a while, but then recently Katrina from Katrina Reads posted a review on this book, and I really want to, and it really encouraged me to read this book. I will leave the link to her review down below. And it is Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistletop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. Katrina said that this book is like almost the sweetest thing that she's ever read. And as I understand, it is about a cafe and the story surrounds like many people, many storylines. Probably even one of them is modern time, another like in the past. So her review made me want to read it even more. I know that it is quite an ambitious TBR pile, considering I've been reading for about 4 books a month or something. But now I've got about 15 books on my TBR pile for April. I won't be able to read all of them, but hopefully I will get through at least half of them, or as many of them as possible. So it will be a very busy month for me in terms of reading, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm really excited about reading them all. Thank you for watching. Bye!